Welcome to the Airgun Show. In this week's episode, I'm going to be taking a look at a great multi-shot PCP for under £500. Before that though, we're joining Rich Saunders and his mates as they head out for a night on the rabbits.
We've come down mob-handed tonight. I'm out with my mates Neil and Kev, and we're on our fruit farm permission again, but it also has some paddocks here as well. Now there's an awful lot of rabbits on the farm, and not only do they eat the fruit plants, they also chew through the irrigation equipment for some reason and cause an awful lot of damage in the course of a year. We shoot here an awful lot, and we've already accounted for well over 100 rabbits already this year, but just recently the landowner says he's seen more rabbits than usual on part of the farm. He also keeps horses here and says there are loads of rabbits in the paddocks, and in fact, because of the danger to horses caused by the holes and scrapes that rabbits dig, he's had to move the horses out. We don't normally shoot on the paddocks because of the horses, and I suspect that as a result the rabbits have migrated there to get away from us on the rest of the farm. Anyway, the plan for tonight is to split up. Kev's going to concentrate on the farm and Neil and I are going to stake out the paddocks. Now in terms of gear, I'm going to be using a 12 foot-pound 22 caliber BRK Ghost. It's the carbine model, so it's the shortest model. 11 shot magazine. I'm using JTS dead center pellets and a side lever action, and thanks to this bottle I get lots of shots out of it as well, and it's humour regulated so you can use the entire airfield just about. On top is a Pard DS35 70 scope. Now it's the version with the laser rangefinder, which is really useful for shooting in the night, and because it has a ballistic calculator, that's going to take care of calculating all of the hold over and hold under for me as well. I'm going to be ambushing rabbits in a corner of the paddocks where I know the rabbits congregate, so my shots are going to be over more of a known distance. Now Kevin and Neil are using FAC rifles, a BRK Sniper and a Daystate Delta Wolf, and they're both using 2.2 FAC rifles, because whereas I'm going to be sat stationary, Kev and Neil are going to be moving around a little bit more, and the extra range will help them out, and they're both using Pard DS35s on top as well.
Well, there's one. Another one.
I can see 2 or 3, and they're about 70 metres down the hedgerow, far too far away for me to take a shot with this 12 foot-pound gun. I could move around, try and stalk to get close to them, but then end up just walking down the hedgerow and scaring off other rabbits potentially, so I'm just going to sit here and hope they either move closer to me or some more come out. I don't know if he saw me or smelt me that one, but he came out into the paddock only about 30 metres away, then turned around and ran straight back again. Oh well. Well, I was beginning to wonder if I'd made a mistake by staying here, especially after I spooked that one a few minutes ago. And then only 5 minutes later, another rabbit ran out into the field, out of the hedgerow, and he actually ran towards me, only 23 or 24 metres or so. So I think I'm going to sit here and hope a few more come out.
Well, I can see a few rabbits down the far end of the paddock. I'm going to have a walk along there, see if I can get in range. So that's the first one in the bag. I'm using the heavyweight JTS pallets, the dead centre pallets at 18.1 grain, and they shoot lovely through the Delta Wolf at 930 feet per second. Now, although it was a long shot, it's well within the capabilities of the rifle, so I'm just going to walk along there and pick him up before the fox gets him.
So I was just having a little wander around. I've come back to the truck, and about 40 metres beyond the truck, near some brambles, there was a rabbit. Hit him hard. He somersaulted into the brambles. I'm going to go and make sure he's dead, and at the same time pick up the other two.
Well, that one was about 35 metres, which is about as far as I want to go, to be perfectly honest, with a 12-foot pound rifle. But this Pard with a ballistic calculator calculated the holdover for me and took a nice clean shot. He ran out from the hedgerow, and fortunately he stopped before he went too far, so I rolled him over, at about 35 metres. That one was a long time coming, to be perfectly honest, and I've been sat here an awful long time, so I'm going to go and pick up those two rabbits. Then I think I'm going to wander over and see how Kev and Neil got on. So thanks for watching.
A decent night on the rabbits for Rich and his mates there. Next up, I'm taking a look at an airgun that proves that you don't have to spend a fortune to get yourself a decent multi-shot PCP. Reximex has launched so many new airguns over the past year or so that I can honestly say I'm starting to lose count. And I have another one here. This is the Accura, and it has the usual Reximex balance of solid performance and affordable pricing. Distributed in the UK by Rangerite, this is the walnut version and it retails for just £490. As I've come to expect from this brand, the build quality feels really robust. Now, apart from being very solidly constructed, it's also pretty compact. It's 89 centimetres long and weighs 3.5 kilos. Now, it's nicely balanced and it's one of those guns that just immediately feels good as soon as you shoulder it. As I've said, this is the walnut stock version. And there is also a synthetic stock model, and that one has a recommended retail price of £465. Now, I think this stock looks great, and it also has some really useful extras. Now, it's pre-fitted with front and rear studs for sling or bipod attachment. It's also threaded to accept a supplied Picatinny accessory rail, which sits on the underside of the fore end. And on top of that, it even has an adjustable cheek piece to ensure good eye alignment with your chosen scope. The stock is ambidextrous, and although this is a bottle gun, the fore end has a nice long sweep, so you don't have to hang on to the bottle with your leading hand. There is plenty of room for it there on the fore end, and that also incorporates panels of really grippy stippling on both sides. Now, moving back, you can see that the trigger guard is actually incorporated into the woodwork of this stock, which I think is a really nice touch. Now, some people have raised the question of the strength of this design, and all I can say is, looking at this one, this trigger guard appears to be pretty strong to me. The pistol grip is nice and chunky, and it's contoured to fill your palm really comfortably. Now, it's also nice and steep, and it's adorned with that same neat stippling as the fore end. So behind the pistol grip, you've got a large thumb hole cutaway and then that adjustable cheek piece, and the butt section is finished with a curved and textured rubber pad. The metalwork has a black anodized finish, which is pretty standard when it comes to protecting modern airguns from the elements. Now, scope mounting is via a Picatinny rail, which gives you about 16 centimetres of clamping space. Now, you can see that I've got a pretty large scope on here, and there is plenty of room for it. The 40 centimetre barrel is shrouded, and that shroud does have a thread to accept a silencer, and I would imagine that most shooters are going to want to, because it does have quite a bike without one. The Accura is a multi-shot PCP, and it comes supplied with 2 magazines and a single shot tray. Now, magazine capacity is 12 shots in 22 caliber and 14 in 177. You load the magazine with the clear plate facing towards you. Then you rotate the plate clockwise until it stops with the hole aligned at the first bay. Now, you then drop a pellet in nose first to hold that inner drum under spring tension. All you do then is simply rotate the clear plate slowly back, dropping a pellet into each bay as you go. The magazine is driven by a side lever action which can't be reversed for left-handers. Now, there's no drop-down handle, but the lever is well positioned if you're right-handed, and operating it soon becomes completely instinctive. It's smooth and reliable and has worked without a hitch during the weeks that I've been testing it. I've been really impressed with the trigger on this gun. It is excellent for its price point. Now, the match type blade is great and it's adjustable for height and angle. The actual mechanism is a 2-stage unit. That is also adjustable, but this one was brilliant straight out of the box. First stage weight and travel felt to be spot on. That then came to a really clear stop before a crisp and utterly predictable second stage brake. The safety catch is of the crossbolt type, and it's positioned just behind and slightly above the trigger. Now, very easy to access, but still safely away from the blade. In terms of its operation, you push it across from the left to make it safe, and then simply snap it back across from the right when you're ready to take the shot. The Accura has a 425cc bottle. Maximum fill pressure is 250 bar, and from that you can expect about 145 shots in .22 caliber and around 120 in .177. Now, air pressure is displayed on a clearly marked gauge that's sunken into the underside of the fore end, and when it's time to refill, the inlet is next to that gauge and you simply couple up with the supplied Foster connector. The .22 caliber gun that I've been sent to test has an average muzzle energy of 11.4 foot-pounds with a variation of 6 feet per second over a string of 10 shots. Now, it's not regulated in the true sense, but it is still pretty consistent. Now, the Accura also has adjustable power, which can wind down the muzzle energy by up to about a third. Now, the adjuster is positioned just in front of the magazine slot, and it has 9 different stop positions. I had high expectations on the accuracy front, and the aptly named Accura didn't disappoint. Now, like the other Reximexes that I've been testing of late, it delivers precision that exceeds its price point. Now, shooting from the support of a bench, it was single-holing with a variety of pellets over 30 metres and still printing cloverleaf groups at 40 metres. Now, it is certainly accurate enough to tackle live quarry over the usual sensible sub 12 foot plane ranges. So, there you have the Accura, another great multi-shot PCP from the Reximex stable. Now, I've got to say, I really like the walnut stock. It looks stylish without being over-designed, and it feels great in the shoulder. Now, this airgun is also really solidly constructed, and it certainly delivers in the accuracy stakes. You really can't ask for more than that for under £500. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for in this week's episode, but as ever, I'll be back with more in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Do also check out the subscription offer that we have for Airgun World magazine, and that includes shooting insurance. Now, you should be able to find a link to that offer in the show description. Do remember also to tune in for the Airgun World podcast, which goes out fortnightly on Fridays on this channel. Now, as I said, I'll be back again with more in a fortnight. In the meantime, enjoy your shooting and stay safe.